Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey, everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. One and only Christina P joins me as always, and we've been solving the world problems here, and we will continue to do so because we are at the center of the rational revolution.
That's right, Drew. We are pushing back on
rationality and honesty.
That's right.
In all realms.
I'm telling you because I think so many people are afraid to even stand up to the
Not
SJWs.
insensitivity, by the way. I'm not advocating insensitivity. You know what I'm saying?
Not.
I mean, like, for instance, I understand why people don't wear masks. I understand why. Wear the fucking masks.
Yeah.
Because it's an opportunity you could squander here when they're going to lock us all down again. I don't want that to happen. Masks are as effective as lockdown. Your government doesn't trust that. I understand it's an imposition. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand you want to rebel against it. I do too. Wear the fucking mask.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wear
the fucking
Please
masks.
wear the fucking mask because it does work. We know it works. I understand the literature. I've read the literature. Yes, it's a little controversial, but when two people wear masks, the risk of transmission is way down.
Yep.
Why not do the mask?
Why not you fucking do it?
Wear the mask. That's right.
I agree.
But by the same token, what else is going on out there where you can't be honest? Oh, I don't want to be insensitive to, any movement, whatever the movement might be. I want to be sensitive to it and in line with their thinking and help them not feel bad. And by the way, not offended. I think you should encourage being offensive because you're a comedian.
Yes.
I don't want to be offensive and I don't want to hurt people, but I also don't want to organize everything in my life around that. I'd like to get on with my life.
Yeah.
And be sensitive and move on.
Yeah, I think the problem now is you can't just speak openly and freely because you're going to be accused of not being sensitive to somebody's cause.
And let me posit.
Yeah.
I want to be sensitive to all causes.
Yeah, guess what?
I wish to be so. I wish to be so.
Yeah, I'm down for equality. I'm down for all these causes.
All of it. But I want to get on with my life a little bit. I want to
get on.
I want to be honest. I want to be able to be rational.
I know.
I want to be able to have conversation with people if I agree or disagree with them. You know what I mean?
How many push-ups can you do? You're very fit.
I'm not so much. I'm good at short, heavy bursts more than long. And I've got a fucked up shoulder from years of weightlifting, and so I could probably do 50 push-ups, something like that.
That's really good.
It's not really. I mean, but anyway, I'm not geared up for endurance. I'm geared up for sort of short. Like I said, I told you last time, I was the Russian tundra lifting logs, right? And not taking them back to Moscow, just lifting them, chopping them, burning them, cooking the elk on it. That's it.
I love it. You're like a puma. Don't they do short bursts?
I think more
cheetahs.
I think more bear.
You're a bear. You're a bear. Oof.
What are we getting into here?
I love it.
When I used to play football, I was really, really, really quick. I could get into the backfield. I was from a defensive line position. I was like I get in the backfield before anybody else. But if they got 2 steps on me, I was out. I was completely done with the play.
Really?
I could get off the ball and in like a cheetah, like a puma or something. But if it was speed or endurance was required, forget it. You guys keep going. Somebody else will get them. Sweet. Robin Quivers.
Let's talk about her. Robin Ophelia Quivers.
Yes, Robin Ophelia. We promised we would talk about
I'm
this.
such a fan of hers.
Me
Recently,
too.
Howard interviewed her, and she really got into detail about her childhood experience and the trauma with her dad and how she recovered from that.
Her resiliency.
And I'm like, exactly, resiliency is phenomenal. And this amount of suffering and how much she's overcome is just bananas. But you are terrified of Robin. Tell me why.
Okay, so terrified's not quite the right word, but okay.
You said
I'm afraid of her. I'm afraid of her. I'm afraid to go into the lion's den there
because of Robin. Most people are afraid of Howard.
Right. I'm not afraid of Howard. I'm afraid of Robin. And you said why? And I said, there's a whole history. You didn't know the history, so I want to tell the history.
Me.
So, late 90s somewhere. No. Was it late 2000s? I guess somewhere. I was talking to my neighbor outside our houses, and he is an SC professor in the business school in behavioral economics, and he builds models around behavior and stuff, and he's interested in kind of entertainment and stuff, and I was saying, look, you got to understand the basic what was I calling them, like product entertainment, which is just celebrities right now, and they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, oh, no, they're all, because I go, I know it for sure. I think it was before Celebrity Rehab. It might have been 20 years ago. And he said, I know for sure because every commercial break on Loveline, we would have these guests in there, and they would unload on me all about their addictions and their traumas and every single person from any field of entertainment, they all had trauma.
So the commercial break hits, and they're like, Dr. Drew, can I tell you this one thing? Seriously?
Yes,
that needs to be a show. Just a commercial break.
We'll call it Celebrity Rehab.
What a great show! I mean, all these shows are my favorites. I love them so much.
So I was like, look, man, I know for sure. Forget the fact that I've treated a few and I see what's going on. There's something about celebrity it's associated with this trauma and this narcissism.
Of course.
And he went, oh, it's fascinating. And so he went back and he found an instrument that you can use to detect trauma and narcissism. It's like a 40 question questionnaire.
Okay, I remember this. This is the whole questionnaire, and you gave everybody the interview.
So everybody that came on Loveline every night, we gave them the questionnaire, and we collected like 250 questionnaires, and then he had these models and analysis that we were able to show that celebrities had much higher narcissism than everybody else, and it broke down by different categories. Like the most narcissistic were the female reality show participants. They were the worst.
Whoops.
Shocking. We had a reality show participant.
Road Rules in the 90s.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. Well, you've had all the trauma and stuff that goes with it. But yeah, and then we broke it down by comedians and musicians and all kinds of things. And there was just sort of a spectrum within, and comedians were pretty high, as I recall, and musicians were sort of low, interestingly, but they were high on substance use and trauma. So anyway, we published this paper and showed that essentially what they were doing was trying to deal with their narcissistic injuries. Celebrity was a bid to manage narcissistic emptiness and injuries.
Of course,
but And so it ended up not working though, because it doesn't heal anything. It just, now you just need more.
Well, that's why they self-sabotage too, because you go, oh, is that all there is?
All there is.
Fixed.
Also, I found a thing where they sort of the distance between how they felt about themselves and how the world loved them was exposed them to shame. And so the shame would cause them to kind of pull away from it. And
isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Why is that? Sorry. So that you feel the adoration.
And it's sort of, I'm not really that worth it. They don't see me as I really am. And they also all had now this is what I learned from Celebrity Rehab. They all had a pseudo self that they use, which is a common narcissistic strategy. Essentially, every person we treated on Celebrity Rehab didn't use their real name in public, and they developed this sort of character that they were out in the world that was their celebrity character. So when that got attacked, they'd feel like, well, they're not really attacking me; they're attacking Mary Carey.
Yes, I was actually going to bring up the women because what I loved in the episodes is when you would be like, take off the horse makeup. You wouldn't call it that, but you would go, just take off. The makeup, like, what's your natural hair color? Take this shit off.
Just us calling them by their name had dramatic effects on them. Several of them, I've kept in touch with most of them, and they'll say, that one moment where you called me Jennifer, no one called me, they called me Penny Flame. No one ever called me Jennifer. And it was like, I somehow it cut through, and it told me you were serious and you wanted to touch me and that kind of thing, which is true. That's what we're doing. So one of my co-writer was using this, I'd say having fun with this questionnaire, and somehow he went on the Howard Stern show. I don't know how he got on or how he got booked. I remember this. And he gave the questionnaire to everybody. Yes. Howard made some interesting observations. He said, I bet I would have been much higher before all that analysis, the therapy I had. I remember. That's true. And then Robin measured the highest of anybody we'd ever measured.
On the scale of narcissism.
Yes.
She was the most
34 on a scale of 35 or something.
Like she blew the doors off
She blew the doors off on our scale. And he presented it to her on the air.
It's the best.
Yeah, and I wasn't even involved with it.
This was huge, by the way.
And this was a big deal, and she was offended. Howard thought it was the funniest thing ever. It was the greatest thing ever. Yeah. They forever brought it up about her. Well, then this co-researcher and I, we wrote a book about all this. And in the book, we went, here is the lowest score and here is the highest score. Robin Quivers.
She made the highest of all the people?
Of all the people. And we just sort of pointed out. But we didn't think to ask her permission to put it in the book because it all happened publicly on the radio. It never occurred to us. She took great issue with it, was furious about it, and aimed all the fury at me. And so one of the next couple times, I think I was on that seat 3 times, if I remember right. She would just start out just railing on me every time.
Didn't like you.
Not that she like used to be a fan and now isn't, and I was a fallen angel in her eyes and all this stuff, which is that really cut to the quick with me.
Man.
And so we sort of made up over the years, and we agreed we'd have a lunch together and stuff. And that
was the
happened.
lunch that she avoided or whatever.
And with the last exchange we had a very delightful email exchange. And she claimed it didn't happen. And so I had to go to the studio and show Gary, and then he gave her endless shit about that. And so anyway. That was the latest.
But let's talk about narcissism, because
and then I got friendly with the guys on the after show, and I kept telling Rasan I was gonna, because he's out here now.
I love Rasan. Yes,
he's a great guy.
Yes,
and that lunch never happened either. And then they started accusing me of being a racist. I'm like, okay, Rasan, I'm gonna meet you next week at Sirius, and I met with Rasan. So
oh, good.
Yeah,
he's lovely.
They're
all lovely.
He is lovely, and I even got the better feel for him sitting down having coffee with him. So
yeah. And so, Brett Hatley was doing the after show, and all those guys. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, but let's talk about narcissism a little, because we
have a lot to get into in today's show.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of
good stuff.
But let me just ask you. So, but to Robin, we all know she never was married or had a family and stuff. Do you think that's just because she could never connect? When you're that narcissistic, is it hard to have relationships, like meaningful? Am I going to get you in more trouble answering this? Sorry.
In retrospect, as I've come to know her, I don't really understand why she measured so high in the scale.
Because she seems very self-aware, which narcissists generally are.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering if there wasn't something about the way the scale is constructed that biased it in her direction. And I would imagine, she probably doesn't want to share herself with anybody. Kind of feels like that. Yeah. She's very involved in her life and the things she does, and she has everything she wants, and she doesn't really want to share that.
And
with
her Simona Dinnerstein, she's always talking about her friend Simona Dinnerstein.
And her relationships with men have not been great, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not in this lifetime. Maybe she overcame so much.
Yeah, and I
she
don't
seems
feel
really
like
happy.
Right.
She's
I don't
really
feel like
happy.
she really wanted any of that.
No.
There is such a thing as people that just don't want that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't know. That's kind of one of the reasons I want to have lunch with her. I'm intrigued with it.
And how dare you shame any women? It sounds like you're shaming all the women that don't want to be married. Is that right?
She is, or me?
No,
me.
You're shaming.
That's what I'm doing. I'm shaming her and everybody else.
I'm trying to play the social justice.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
So you're saying is you don't. You think all women should be married and have kids.
So I used the wrong order or something in the way I was expressing myself. How should I have said that?
I mean, you're just a hate monger. I don't think. You're such a sexist. Okay.
No, it goes beyond that. It's like I'm in favor of a social construct that includes the oppression of women as childbearing, and how dare I? And
what about trans women? They can be childbearing too, and trans masculine, non-binary.
And they can be a trans man.
Did you know that there's LGBTQIA now?
I do know that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are
we having the woke Olympics here?
Did you and I have that conversation? I feel like we had that conversation.
I did not have this conversation.
Oh, I know who I had it with. It was over the weekend, and I have a problem with it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, what does it stand for?
Intersex and asexual.
Yeah, which I'm not even sure what intersex.
Intersex is a category of and I'm going to say this wrong, everybody. I apologize if I don't use the correct language as I would like to do, but I am not skilled enough to do so. In medicine, intersex was always a genetic situation in which the genetics can be mixed in various ways in terms of the sex chromosomes.
Like Klinefelter syndrome?
Klinefelters or Turners or mosaics. There can be mosaics. Mm-hmm. And there can be true hermaphrodites. Very rare. Very rare.
A true hermaphrodite?
Yes, exceedingly rare.
What's
and
the
mosaics,
percentage?
Exceedingly rare.
Like
0.000 something per 100,000. Now, ambiguous genitalia, show me ambiguous genitalia.
Yeah, let's look at those. What do those look like?
Ambiguous genitalia is relatively common, and that's a developmental problem. That's not a genetic, that's a developmental expression, forget problem, where it's a baby, it's like there's sort of a penis and sort of a vagina and sort of not. That's actually kind of common.
So the clitoris just looks enlarged,
or the penis is sort of micro-y, and there's kind of a vagina there. There's all variations on the theme on that. And historically, doctors would make the call to surgically make that the most go in the direction it already was going. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a mistake, right? Then you're assigning sexual gender to people whose biology may be quite different than that. And it ended up with some catastrophes. Then once we were able to test for the genetics, we would just go, what's the genetics of those kids? And assign the external genitalia to those genetics. Well, this is an offense because they didn't consent to that.
Gotcha.
And there's a whole movement attached to preventing doctors or parents from doing that to babies.
That's tricky.
In my experience, I rarely see kids that are unhappy with the assignment that fits their biology, right? But remember, there's a whole movement out there against how dare you circumcise me, right?
I was just going to say, there's a whole host of decisions parents make that interfere with you and how you function in the world.
And apologies on behalf of all parents. We're doing the best we can, right?
Yeah.
And so babies can't consent. The parents have to be the one consenting on their behalf, and that goes until you're 18, everybody. That's just the way the world is. So that's intersex. It's pretty complicated. It's a complicated landscape. Asexual, meaning people without a desire for sex. Now, the problem with that, and again, this is, and people, and do not accuse me of being a biological essentialist. I am talking, it's possible to practice medicine, everybody. You can study biology and you can practice medicine. Let me just posit that. Were it not the case that biology presented in patterns we call clinical presentation, there would be no doctors.
Right.
So, in my clinical experience, not as a biological essentialist, many times when kids come in or young adults come in and go, I'm asexual, I would go, really? You have no libido? Yeah, I used to, and then around 20, I lost it. Do you know how often that's a brain tumor, a pituitary tumor?
Wow.
Very common. So I have on the record said, or thyroid problem and cancer and many different things.
Yeah.
Many different things it can be. Before you make a sexual orientation commitment, before you say, that's my sexual orientation, asexuality, get a medical workup, please.
Yeah.
Please. And if you call me a biological essentialist for that, you're a murderer.
Yeah.
Because these things will progress and harm people. So people need to have proper medical care.
That's right.
And we can talk about the access to proper medical care. That's a legitimate conversation we should be having. The average 24-year-old whose libido went away may not have insurance and may not have access and stuff like that. That's a good conversation. But please don't tell me that I'm hurting people who are asexual by suggesting that they get a biological workup, particularly if the libido got lost.
Right, if they did have one and it suddenly disappears.
But plenty of times even without it. Go read a book by Ken Baker called Man-Made. He talked about growing up with a pituitary tumor and what it was like before versus after. And,
It's,
So these things the medical problems are common. And if you don't get them, just like I told you, were we talking about depression on the mic?
No.
Okay, you were saying you had a friend with, asking about depression and stuff.
Yes.
I said, make sure he gets a medical evaluation first.
You don't know.
Because depression can be an initial presentation of heart disease, cancer, brain tumors again, all kinds of things. So please, people, it's possible to practice medicine. Biology actually does exist. Not as essentialism, but that it actually is. And then once that's done and you're still asexual, cool, very cool.
Then that makes sense for you.
Very cool
and
for
that's
you.
Fine.
More than fine. Good for you.
Yes.
You're going to avoid a lot of heartache and headache too. And that's how you want to identify. Fantastic. But first, now the other thing is that trauma sometimes underlying it too. And this is where people feel diminished. Like, don't talk about the trauma. Well,
meaning that sometimes people get traumatized and they don't get the help, and instead they'll say, well, I identify as and you're like,
but you still may identify that even with the trauma treatment, to be fair.
Right.
Which is fine.
Fine.
Again,
but look into the possibility first.
Do not say that trauma may be an underlying influence on all this that it, might want to think about if something needs to be treated. That's irresponsible.
Yeah.
So that is my primer on
I
all
like
this
it,
stuff.
and I like
this
your
is
fire.
rational.
This is called free thinking.
Free thinking. It's not free thinking. It's not even free thinking. This is not free thinking. This is matter of fact thinking.
Right. It's called science. Remember science? Factual.
What? A bunch of white guys in white coats.
Well,
dictating a point of view.
Yes, male, white, patriarchal science.
Yes, dictating something.
How dare you?
Yes, how dare you?
What's interesting too, I think I have nothing against the LGBTQIA community. It's only
I have only.
Of course, peace and love, whatever.
Peace and love.
Yes, my loves. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that maybe a little forgiveness to those of us who aren't up on all the acronyms. Right.
Well, that's the other piece, which is I really do apologize if it makes you, if the manner in which I speak diminishes or hurts. Right. That's really what we're talking about. Is it hurts, and that we'll all do our best on that. But you should not feel entitled to be aggressive in response. Yeah. The aggression, and I would argue that aggression is really the problem right now.
Yeah.
Unregulated aggression is everywhere. That's what's out on social media.
Yes.
And people are gratifying aggression through scapegoating.
It's bullying. It's a form of bullying, and they're the ones that, everyone's bullying me. Well, what are you doing, weirdo? Okay.
Well, it's not bullying. It's aggression. It's collectively aggressing against another person because it feels good to you.
I know.
People need to think about this.
They need to vape their own cum. If we just had more cum vapors.
I vape my cum.
Should we do some of these amazing videos?
I am dung.
Can I
show me I am dung? Because that's what I feel like right now. I am dung. Ooh.
Oh boy, you're not even ready for this.
Oh Jesus, I'm not ready for any of this.
Check this out. So I ordered Buffalo Wild Wings mango habanero, and it's super, super hot. And I can't wait to try the poop, the feces, the shit that I dump out and eat it and taste it to see if it's still super, super hot. So for those of you who don't already know, I love to use this example of eating my feces to test out my theories of what is the ego and how I can further suppress it.
With the ego?
The ego. So she's doing a form of spiritual practice, like wearing a hair shirt or living like the Desert Fathers.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
The world's coming to an end.
Yeah. What do you think of this? So first of all, medically,
it's her own shit. What the hell?
Fine.
Enjoy.
I can't believe you always say this. Like, you're always like, it's fine. You can eat shit. You can drink your piss.
You shouldn't want to.
How about blood? Can you drink your own blood without?
How many times have you gotten like that?
Well, I mean, a lot of it. Like, let's say there's someone that drinks their own menstrual blood. Can you do that?
You will vomit it. It will vomit.
Okay, but can I drink my menstrual blood?
Can you?
I mean, is it okay? Will it make me sick?
Not necessarily, no.
How is that fucking possible?
It's all in you. It's all part of you.
Okay,
shit.
So I know, literally.
How did you find her?
She's on the talk.
Why did it take so long?
I know. She's on the talk, bro.
Oh my God.
So she's doing this as like a spiritual thing to rid herself of her ego, right? What's going on here? Is this mental illness?
Well, let me assure you, Nadav put something in blue up there. Why eating dung is beneficial for overall health of the body. Let me assure you that is not true. That things that come out of your body need to come out. They're meant to come out. So, for instance, if you drink your own urine, while it is sterile, you will accumulate urea, and you will go into uremia and uremic poisoning if you continue to drink your urine.
How much urine do I have to drink to go into?
Not very long. A few days. You get uremic frost forming around your fucking eyebrows.
Okay.
Having said that,
yes,
shit is also a means of elimination.
Yeah.
I had a patient
who
was severely autistic. Oh my God, look at that picture. I cannot stand it.
I don't like it either.
Was severe. Oh, why is she smiling?
The smiling is what's the menacing bit.
Yes.
My beautiful dung complexion. Like, there's no way this makes her. But she's claiming health benefits, Drew. Like, this is making her skin nicer.
Learn more about my psychedelic substance trips. You see that?
Yeah, I do.
I was going to say there's a thought disorder here in her. She may have hurt herself.
Oh.
I would ask you, please study my materials and compound them in a critical analysis for the answer. Oh boy. It's not my personality. I don't have an eating disorder. What I know and have learned is that man is always in pursuit of more disgusting attributes to gain for himself, and his pleasures of exorbitant cases excites arrays of exploitation of what a freight train of disgusting, despicable behaviors in every industrial archives, including, oh boy, that's
She's
rambling.
out of her mouth, yeah.
And that's a little crazy. Would you believe me when I say there are deceptions in every quarter of societal paranoia,
break with reality a little bit here.
I feel obligated to share and shed the truth. God wants only clean files from all character roles. So again, the hyper-religiosity.
Yeah.
All concerning. A lot of negative responses to my dung-eating habits.
I wonder why.
I will briefly press to include this as time permits and discoveries are shared. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're going to go for...
Whatever you're into, we're in the rational zone here.
Psychotic,
This is rational... What do we call it? Rational response?
Rational revolution,
Revolution.
bro. Okay, we're going to treat this like it's the 90s, or actually like it's 10 years ago. Or 5 years ago. This person's clearly mentally ill.
No, I wouldn't say clearly mentally ill. I would say that there are concerns.
Yeah.
And she may be fine. But... it's not going to have the desired effect she's looking for. And this idea that it's healthy.
Yeah.
So let me go finish my story about my patient who was severely autistic and was engaged in coprophagia.
Huh?
Coprophagia, meaning eating one's own excrement.
Oh, boy.
Coprophagia is a well-known mental disorder, behavior associated with severe mental illness. And people with bad brain conditions sometimes will do that. And this guy had that. And he was eating and finger painting with his corpro, with his excrement. And somebody had put him on lithium to help with some of the behavioral problems. Guess how lithium is excreted?
Caca.
In the caca. And so he came in renal failure from lithium toxicity.
Fuck.
So please, with the good for you stuff, stop it.
Yeah, stop
it, everybody.
What about these? People are like, I gave myself a pee facial. What about urine therapies? People drinking urine to cure cancers. I've heard of people doing. It's all nonsense. Yeah.
I blame the education system.
Yeah.
They literally didn't get biology and chemistry.
Yeah.
You need to understand how complicated these things are before you start doing shit like that.
And there you have it. There's the scientific.
Is the cool bearded lady the one we watched a couple of times?
Let me tell you about her. So
we've seen her before.
You've
right?
seen her.
I don't think
you've seen this.
This is not the one. You've
How
got
do I
to
call
see
them?
They. No, this is a woman who just.
Her.
You'll see. I don't want to give away too much of my load.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Hey guys, Ruth here of Ruth Butler Music. So let's talk about my beard today. Just gonna share a few things what it's like to have a beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep
So
going.
she's
One
got a
thing I
hormonal.
like about my beard, I like how it's curly. Makes these 2 ringlets. It's kind of cool.
Weird that she doesn't have a mustache also.
Right.
Isn't that kinda
that's
weird?
curious. I hadn't thought of that. Her sideburns.
I wonder if she shaves it or pulls it or something.
Because
How dare she? How dare she?
She's very, what is it? Mustache phobic.
Oh, she is?
Well, she's clearly has a hatred of mustaches
I
and
see.
sideburns because she's not growing hers out.
So the sideburns are a little prominent, though.
I think that's just shadowing.
I think this might be just how she naturally grows it, because I do see a little bit of
You
a
think
mustache
that's that?
right here.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's it. Okay. Yep. And here we go.
Thoughtful. When it gets growing even longer, well, I guess it's already at the length where I can go, I don't actually do that very often like I thought I would. I've been growing it about 3 years maybe. My family decided to take a trek out of modern living and moved into an RV. While we were there, living in the RV, I decided to grow the beard. I tried to get rid of it and hated myself. Oh, I'm horrible. I'm so ugly. And then I decided, maybe I like it.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm intrigued. I
Yeah.
like her.
Okay.
Good
You
for
do.
her.
I'll
Good
tell
for
you.
her.
I'll tell you. Do you want to hear something?
I think she could do better than this. But
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah. Tell me something.
The audience hates her.
Really?
Like fucking wants her to
Wonder what
die.
that is.
I don't know, but I posted a couple more of her TikToks, and people they
Can
vehemently hate
do
her.
we have any more that I could see? Because maybe I'm getting the wrong impression. I just what I'm troubled by is the sanctimonious.
That's I think what people
stuff,
are.
which is she's rationalizing herself into all kinds of, convincing herself into all kinds of things. However, she includes in those rationalizations the self-loathing that she had before, which is also no good.
Yeah.
Right. So this is her answer. Guess what, honey? There's a middle ground.
Yeah.
There's a middle ground where you can not grow a beard for 3 years, not live, what did she say, outside of industrial society or something?
Yeah.
Like not be homeless.
Yeah.
Not be homeless.
Yeah.
And not use a bunch of euphemisms for what's really going on here.
Yeah.
And she's probably a lovely person. It's sad it makes me kind of sad.
It makes me sad too because it's bullshit. You're like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
It's all bullshit.
Really
But she's better here than she was in her self-loathing, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
Probably not as depressing. Now she's self-righteous and she gets all kinds of,
Yes.
all that kind of woke stuff gets going on her side.
Right. And the self-righteous stuff is what I think people are really not liking about her.
Yes.
It's like, oh, hey, look at my beard. I get to do that. And like, isn't it awesome? And you're like, you don't think it's awesome.
No, she
There's
doesn't.
no way.
That's right.
So this is obvious. Is this like just too much testosterone in her body, or what is this?
Who knows? Yeah, something like that. But the point is that this overcompensation with.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of
bullshit.
the rational revolution. It's using rationality.
I know.
Yeah, it's using rationality, using that part of your brain to cover a different part of your brain rather than to integrate.
Because she'll turn it into a feminist thing. Like,
I'm sure.
Why can't a woman have a beard?
Yes, you can.
And how dare you shame me
There
for
you
my
go.
beard?
And
You're
now
shaming me.
And now she gets tons of cred for that.
Right.
For being so.
The SJW cred. But the truth is, it's not very attractive. It doesn't conform to societal
standards. I hate her so much, so I can't quite figure that out.
People fucking hate her.
What is so why?
Like, you should just see my the 99
Don't hate
pluses.
me for being intrigued by her. I think she's fine.
So, but hold on, she could have this lasered off.
Yeah,
right.
No
Laser
problem.
treatment would be
No
like
problem.
easy squeezy.
No problem.
Okay.
This could all be handled.
She could wax it. I've never.
But why
waxed.
does she have to feel diminished by having it? Why does she have to have self-loathing by having it is what I'm saying. Whatever that is the real problem here.
Right, because we all have something on our bodies we've changed, we've had removed or whatever.
She collapses into I'm ugly and because she's not.
No.
And all that stuff. It's like, come on, what's that all about?
I love this, Drew. Loosen up.
But send me emails about why she
why she annoys you.
Yeah,
no, I'm going back to the first episode where I think you were a little more guarded, and now the tie is off.
You fucked with me so much.
You are free. I love it.
Let's take a little break so I can tell you about our friends at Stamps.com. Now we're all supposed to be social distancing and staying at home if we can. Stamps.com. Who wants to go to the post office at a time like this? And of course, Stamps.com is your option. You can save money with discounts that you can't even get at the post office. And if that's not enough, Stamps.com offers UPS services now with discounts up to 62% and no UPS residential surcharges. So they bring all of the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer, safety of your own home, in your computer, wherever you are, your office. Use your own printer to print up the postage, print up the stamp. Use that scale so you can weigh exactly what it is, the postage that you need to put on that particular letter. Just use your computer to print that U.S. postage 24/7, any letter, any package, any class of mail, and it goes anywhere you want. Once it's ready, just leave it for your mail carrier. And like I said, with Stamps.com, you get discounts too. You get 5 cents off every first class stamps, up to 62% off shipping rates. It's a big deal, and you can do anything you could do at the post office. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time, saving you money, and keeping you safe during these times. So right now for our listeners, you get that special offer. It includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, type in DRDREW, that is Stamps.com, enter Dr. Drew, and you will stay safe, my friends. It is Stamps.com. All right, next up is Bombas. I love their socks. They have rethought every little detail of the sock, and it sounds impossible. Like, how do you make socks better? Bombas has figured it out, and not just their socks, but also their T-shirts. I wear these things every day. I am a Bombas fan, and I'll tell you, when you go to their website, pay attention to the socks. They've tuned socks to your specific needs. Really, it's fantastic. These socks do more than just, of course, keep us warm and cozy. They help give back to vulnerable members of our community. You know I'm all about this, but for every pair of socks you purchase, Bombas donates a pair to someone in need. The generosity of Bombas customers has allowed them to donate over 34 million pairs of socks and counting. This is all through their nationwide network of 3,000 giving partners. And the impact is more powerful than ever to those experiencing homelessness. These socks represent dignity in putting on clean clothing and some small comfort that is especially important right now. And think about it. Think about how you feel when you pair on a new pair of socks that really feel right. For a homeless person, this is a big deal. Give a pair when you buy a pair and get 20% off your first purchase at bombas.com/Drew. That is bombas.com/GREW. Get 20% off your first purchase. Again, it is socks. It's also T-shirts. I think this might be one of their T-shirts even. Bombas.com/Drew. I love their products and I love their mission. Bombas.com/Drew. Next up is our friends at Embark, embarkvet.com. That's right. Have you ever wondered what your dog's breed actually is, or do they have any genetic risk factors? And we do this for humans. Why don't we do it for dogs? Well, Embark does, embarkvet.com. And guess what? Our dog was a purebred Australian Shepherd, and he had no genetic risks, much to our surprise. Everyone in our family has genetic risks, but not our dog. From breed traits to genetic risk factors, health conditions, Embark provides the resources to help you and your vet best tailor your pet's medical needs. Embark can identify over 350 breeds, types, and varieties, screen for over 175 genetic health conditions. Again, this helps the vet provide the best medical care. Over 50% of dogs are at risk or a carrier for a genetic disease, whether purebred or mixed. Embark can give you a leg up when it comes to knowing what to expect and how to manage it. You can even learn your dog's ancestry back to their great-grandparents and match with your dog's relatives if you want. That's kind of cool. Embark was developed by PhDs and veterinarians. It is the #1 trusted source for breed detection and accuracy. Plus, every dog that gets tested helps contribute to the research into discovering and treating new genetic diseases in dogs and hopefully extend the lives of all dogs. So this summer, Embark has a limited time offer for our listeners. You'll love it. It's really fun. And it's actually useful for your dog's health for sure. Go to EmbarkVet, EMBARKVET, embarkvet.com now. Use promo code Drew, not Dr. Drew, just Drew, and you will get $50 off your dog breed and health kit. So again, visit embarkvet.com, use promo code Drew, get $50 off today, embarkvet.com, and use promo code Drew. And now back to our show. Here's my girlfriend won't do anal with me, but she did a week before she dated me with this rich guy with a small dick.
How does he know?
I should read these before I read them out loud. And her boyfriend before in college, again, small dick. Yes, okay, dude, Colin, I understand you have a larger dick. She tells me it's because my dick is too big. Oh, see? Good for you. But it seems like bullshit. Help me understand why this other guy's got it and I can't. She constantly has me finger and eat her ass.
Oh, so she's interested.
So she's interested in the ass. And Colin, your dick is too big.
Yeah.
That's sometimes a cigar is just a good smoke.
There you go. There you go. A cigar is just a big dick in your mouth.
A good smoke.
Oh, is that what he said?
A good smoke.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think his dong is too big.
Right. It does.
She doesn't want to do it.
It is hurtful.
Yeah.
It can hurt.
I wouldn't know. I don't do such deviant acts.
Right. They're going to get. I know where this is all going on YMH. Be sure to tune into that.
Don't know what you're talking about. I just have good Christian style sex. And good old Christian word.
By the way, not necessarily my idea.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. YMH. Be sure to tune in. Just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So. But, by the way, in the 90s and early 2000s, men were super preoccupied with anal sex.
I know. It was like
Love
everything.
Line, they were just constantly asking about something they had to check off the list. It's weird. It's not been so much in the last 10 years or so.
What are guys into now, do you think?
It's exotica.
Like the Fukimana
yes,
stuff?
Like weird stuff, weird cartoony stuff.
Cartoon
dog play, and
dog
exotic
pup play.
Whatever. I heard that we don't really know what causes morning wood. Can it be caused by the bladder being full and putting pressure on the prostate? Also, is it possible the premature ejaculation is an evolutionary advantage? Yes, that is true. It is an evolutionary adaptation because you got to get the sperm in there as quick as possible before a saber-toothed tiger gets you,
That's
right?
true.
And it's something that's been passed down through the generations instead of being a bad thing. That's right. Other animals don't hump very long because doing the act leaves them vulnerable to predation. That's
true.
That's exactly what I just said.
Smart.
Right? The saber-toothed tiger is going to get you. So yeah, but it's something that's although it's an adaptation, it needs to be managed in the context of a long-term stable relationship. Let's put it that way. And you should be cognizant of your partner's needs. That's all.
Yeah.
So how about that? We're more evolved than we were when the saber-toothed tigers were chasing us. Now, the issue of the morning wood, we do know what causes morning wood. I don't know where you got the idea that we don't. There's a stretch on the bladder that activates a spinal reflex that adds to the morning wood. You're right about the pressure on the prostate. Also, the lymphatic drainage there is not quite, when the bladder's full, it's not quite, the venous and lymphatic plate drainage is not quite as efficient. And sleep cycles are associated with spontaneous erections. So you add the spinal reflex of the bladder stretch, the venous return, and the sleep cycling. We have, voila, morning wood.
I just thought it was that my husband was extra into me and super virile.
That he had to be sleeping next to you and he couldn't control himself.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I'm like, you're just
keep doing it. Keep thinking that.
Turned on.
Keep thinking that. Things we're thinking about weird stuff here. Are we done with the bearded lady?
I mean, yeah, she's annoying. Like, nobody likes her.
Yeah, we have more of her, but I think you guys...
Can you just give me one more TikTok just so I get a flavor?
Oh my God, are you kidding
Just give me a TikTok.
You never have to ask
Is that
twice.
a talk? Was that a talk?
She's in the talk world, but I believe she was submitted video.
Okay,
so she's on the talk.
I would like to see a little TikTok just to get a flavor of what they hate.
Gosh.
Just so I
you want to see her.
Just in case I'm missing something.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It is the sanctimonious stuff that you picked up on.
Yeah.
She's annoying about the beard.
Yeah, I get that, but I want to know if that's real. I don't know. I don't see what that is.
Like if she would just talk.
There she is. Well, that's where I saw that one. Yes, if she would just talk.
What do you mean?
No.
Yeah, this is all the same video.
No, but you have. Christina said she has a bunch
I
of
didn't
TikToks.
send. Sorry, there's a miscommunication here. I haven't sent them to Nadab, or have I? I posted them on my personal stories.
Not of this lady.
Not of her.
But don't worry, we have a clip of her ready for next white mage.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's real annoying.
Okay. All right, I'll see.
Everyone hates her.
All right, let's go to.
She's married to a man. There's a man.
I could see that she's not she's an attractive woman. She seems nice enough, but she's convincing herself. Everybody, don't trust your thinking.
I know.
This is the thing. All I deal with all day is drug addicts that think all kinds of great reasons they should keep using. It's called stinking thinking. And if you want to know a more subtle version of it, it's called cognitive distortion, which you believe narratives and you don't consider objectively things that come your way that can change your point of view. Don't trust your thinking. The fact that people put it all on, I figured it out now, this is the narrative, it's the social construct of women, blah, 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 blah. Okay, maybe it is. Be open to other things.
That's right.
Be open to other things. And if you find yourself thinking rigidly and you can't take in new material, that's defensiveness, and there's a problem under that. There's something you're trying to defend against.
Right. The whole purpose of cognitive behavioral therapy is to challenge these assumptions that aren't working for you. It's irrational.
Rational revolution.
Thank you.
Okay. Fisting.
Back to regularly.
So Drew, here's the thing: is that we can't show any of this stuff to the people at home.
Yes, so you're gonna have to see me vomit. Yeah,
so we want to know if you think that it's medically okay to be practicing this stuff at home.
You're gonna show? I didn't think we saw the video last week. We just heard audio, right?
Right.
Oh my God, I'm gonna see it now.
Last week on YMH.
Yeah,
you're gonna see it. I'm gonna make you watch.
Fuck! Oh no! Oh no!
I can't tell what it is.
I can't. I don't like it at all.
What is that? That's two hands?
Holy shit! Is that in the vagina or in the butt?
I think it's in the butt.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Wow! No, that's a vagina. That's I'm expecting a baby to come out.
There's no ass above it. Oh, he's gonna pull shit out.
It's a vagina. It's a vagina. He's gonna pull a baby out. No, he's in the vag.
Maybe. Oh, maybe it's vag. Okay.
It's vag because the asshole's under. Oh my fucking god! It's literally as big as a baby.
Yes.
Like, his 2 hands in there is what a baby.
My fear was
10
that was
centimeters.
an asshole, though. That would have been way worse because that would have been.
Yeah, the vagina can take this, but you don't want the. I mean, who wants this? It's essentially a baby. Oh my god! Oh my god! I think I'm gonna fucking die.
So is this safe to do?
More importantly, let's make note of the fact that finally Christina has a reaction that I have at least 3 times a show. So I feel pretty good about this. This is what it took to get you here. Only once in the whole run of the show. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? It doesn't feel good.
It's bad.
It does not feel good to look at this
I'll
stuff.
tell you why, because
Thank you.
I'm imagining that this is happening to my vagina.
Of course.
Because I've blasted it out twice.
A baby.
Birthing.
Yeah,
so I'm like, this is giving birth.
It's traumatic.
Yeah.
So what if it was a vagina that didn't look like yours? Like, let's say, for example, it was pierced 30 times.
That's a single hand, though. That almost makes sense. What's with the bagpipes?
Bagpipes.
Does that mean they're in Scotland?
Yeah.
I think they're watching The Departed in the background.
I don't like it. I don't
like it either.
Because is he gonna hurt? Is he gonna go past the cervix and into her?
You can't do that. You can't.
Not
without causing peritonitis. You're going to kill her immediately. Not immediately, but pretty quickly. If you go
in past the cervix, the
cervix is an impenetrable, right? It's closed.
Right.
There's a space up and around it, and if you push through that, you're going to go right into the perineum, or at least the retroperitoneum.
No.
Why are you showing us all these?
Now that's her butt. That's her asshole.
Is it?
Yeah. There's no asshole under it. No.
Oh! Come on.
No, I don't like that at all.
Come on.
I don't like it at all. That was really crazy. Why was she wearing gloves?
Maybe she does it in return or something. I don't know. Coronavirus?
She's wearing her mask. They're all wearing masks.
I'm sure she doesn't get corona.
But let's talk about it. So fisting. Vaginally, you're saying that there's no...
Well, the vagina is a very elastic tissue. Now, when you're pregnant, there's a bunch of hormones that help the relaxing. It's actually called relaxin. Yeah.
Yes.
And the pubic symphysis can relax and stuff.
So but the woman's pelvis is such that, right? It comes open. The 2 bones go open and come back.
Yeah. But I mean, the entire vaginal setup is designed to expand.
Yes.
Right? So the fisting of a vagina, particularly if there's been a delivery, all right, whatever. I mean, because there's a lot of kind of goes from.
Yeah, sure. What?
Goes from this to kind of this a little bit.
What does the vagina
gets a little bit of stretch at the bottom.
Sure.
And that goes, so there's more, if that's what somebody's into, whatever.
So a head can come out.
But the two-handed one was a little bit
aggressive. Because let's talk about that. What is the circumference?
And by the way, you're going to have fucking your bladder and rectal prolapse after all that. That is going to happen.
Hold on, for a vaginal fisting like that? Or a rectal?
Two-handed. The rectal one, you're going to have incontinence and hemorrhoids and God knows what. Yeah. But the vaginal one, the bladder, show me a rectocele. RECTOCOLE.
Well, I know I've pushed out 2 children. It fucks up your bladder. It affects everything.
No.
I'm gonna die.
REC. Let's start over. TO. There it is, right? The first thing.
Rectocele.
Picture.
No, please.
All right, so you can't really see it. So see that one on the left there. You see how the sort of the colon drops into the vagina? See how that works?
No.
Oh.
I see the anus.
That's the wrong
Hold
picture.
On.
Go back.
Rectum, bladder.
No.
God damn it. Fucking a dog.
I go back to the big the screen with all of them on it. No, one before this, I think. Oh, then go down a little further. Sorry, this is all. Keep going. Let's see if we can find a good one.
Why do people do this shit?
Kind of that one, the one that's see rectocele treatment in the upper left corner. There you go. See how the colon sort of falls into the vagina there?
Down.
Yeah, it just sort of falls in. And the same thing can happen with the bladder. Look at the bladder there. Can you imagine the bladder kind of falling in?
Of course.
Same thing happens with the bladder. Or they both can fall in. Or all three, the uterus can fall down too. It's called a uterine prolapse.
I've had that, or the doctor thought I did.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that'll just go back in a couple days. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, you pushed too hard. You pushed out your uterus.
With the
and
baby?
I was like, yeah. It wasn't. It was just my vag was blasted too much. Because he didn't get a good look. I was laying in the bed. I was like, Doc, look at this. Look at this. What is this? He's like, oh, it's just your uterus. You pushed it out.
It's just the cervix falling on your
Yeah.
vagina.
I was like, what? But it was fine.
Yeah, that does go back normally.
It does go back.
But as you get older, all that stuff comes back. And so the two fister up there is going to have a rectal seal, a vaginal seal, a uterine prolapse, and a cystocele, the bladder one.
Okay, so let's talk about the circumference of a vagina, okay? So theoretically, a baby's head is about as big as should be coming out.
Correct, ever.
So two man fists.
That's about a baby's head.
I mean, it's nutty. And it fucking hurts to push a baby out. And it tears. So can you get tears?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. You're damaging all the tissue out there. Yep. Next. Let's see.
Sorry, one more question about fisting. Anal?
Yes, one more.
When you go up into males, when they fist other males, and you go really, really in, you've seen them go to the elbow. What's the repercussions of that?
That concerns me a lot. Show me the sigmoid colon.
Because remember on Stern, they had that Fistapalooza or whatever they covered?
Yeah. Get me down to the, okay. All right. So, do you see how as it goes up, you make a big turn and then the big, S, that's the sigmoid S. That does not straighten itself out. That's tacked down. So once you hit where the sigmoid turns, you really can't.
I got the chills. Like I legit.
Yeah. And so you're essentially just sort of pushing everything up high into the small bowel and stuff. It's very weird. I mean, maybe you can kind of make that turn a little bit, but you can't make the next turn. So it's like
you can do the first turn, guys.
Yeah.
Wait, meaning like if I'm fisting somebody, I could with my wrist, I could kind of go
around,
like
but then
that.
You're not gonna if you pull that down, you're not
following the flow of the colon.
I don't think you're able to make that turn. So whenever I see that, I think, oh geez, ruptured colon. And that is again fatal. Think of. Remember that guy that screwed a horse, Mr.
I do.
Hand or whatever?
Mr. Hands. Mm-hmm.
That's how he died.
That was a fun video, too. Mm-hmm. He did. Yeah, he got his colon perforated.
Right,
Is that
it's pretty
the word?
easy to do, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Why do I feel like vomiting today?
Because it's the best show ever because we're doing the best work.
Breastfeeding older kids.
Can we see breastfeeding older kids is fucking amazing.
Wait, do you want to see Guy Fucks Dirt?
Later. Let's cleanse our palate with breastfeeding old kids. Okay. This one's fucking amazing. Just tell me how it makes you feel when you're watching it. Just tell me the feelings. Go ahead. It's not gross. It's not gross.
It's going to be gross.
It's not gross. It's just disturbing.
Veronica believes that children should decide for themselves when to stop breastfeeding. Bethany and Eliza Robinson have been breastfed for many years, and Eliza is still breastfeeding at 7.
Keep going.
You can see from Eliza lying here, they take up a lot of space. And it's not quite the same as a little infant tucked in your arm. But, clearly they get as much pleasure and as much comfort as a newborn does. And one of the really nice things as children get older is that they can verbalise their experience and tell you how much they enjoy it.
She's like, oh, shit. Mom makes me do this.
Oh, my God. Well,
I remember it tasting really, really sweet.
Her elder sister Bethany was breastfed until she was 5 and still has fond memories.
Better than anything in the world. Better than mango, even.
Oh, better than mango.
In the mornings when I'm getting dressed, the girls...
Is that the same woman?
Talk to my breasts, they touch them. We've had to set up some firm rules about letting me get dressed in peace. They don't like it when I put a bra on. They think I'm trapping the breasts and they should be free to float about.
I mean... Let's talk about developmental stunting.
I know. I mean, there is a sort of natural order to development. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of, there's a time that you may not want to give up the breast, but you need to.
Right.
And where do we draw the line, honey? Mom? 17?
17.
What if we're a male? You're gonna ostracize the male?
Oh boy! Yeah. And then also, I get the feeling this is more for mom's comfort and joy.
That's the feeling for sure. For sure. This is don't trust your thinking.
Right.
That you're thinking the child is doing something that they have to do and want to do. It's
Bethany
you,
and Eliza.
Mom, that is creating this.
But how dare you shame her for breastfeeding? You're shaming her. No, but that's what the counter argument is. Well, now you're shaming
breastfeeding is good.
Breastfeeding.
Let me say it for the record. Breastfeeding is the best. I recommend it for all my patients and everybody else on earth.
Most natural thing in the world.
It is the best. There is a time and a place.
Yeah, yeah.
If not, please tell me when. 17? 25? Why not?
Bethany and Eliza like to express their feelings about breastfeeding in drawings or pictures.
Drawings?
When they draw pictures of them, it's quite interesting. You know, every woman has a breast that's slightly larger than the other, so that's always featured in there. But the nipples are very long. Well, I don't have long nipples, but clearly for them there is some significance in the nipple. You know, they don't care that they're stretch marked and saggy and wobble and everything. Everything that my breasts do and are, they love and adore.
So maybe that's the whole issue.
Her feelings about her sagging, right? And the kids validate her.
Yeah, validate and make use of them, make it okay that they're that way.
Well, I mean, because look, there is a point where you stop getting.
Breath. Maybe I'm getting COVID.
God, don't breathe on me. I mean, don't you think there's a time when you got to put your tetas away, especially with little boys when they start to, you know, they're of age where you shouldn't be nude. It's turning sexual, at least.
It's just their boundarylessness. The boundaries, everybody.
Boundaries,
Let's hear a quick voicemail before we go to more guys humping dirt.
I need you to see Guy Fuck's pile of dirt today.
Keep going.
Hey, Dr. Drew, it's Matthias. Hope you're keeping it high and tight as usual.
Good.
So I had a question about my brown situation that I have going on.
Good.
Sometimes, so I have IBS, first of all, so I fluctuate between constipation and diarrhea. It's pretty rough. But sometimes when I have to go, I get like really dizzy. It like feels like it's hard to focus, and then I feel like out of breath. I compare it to like almost like dehydration. And then when I do brown, it's kind of like flaky and weird. Like it looks like there's like I think mucus on it or something. I'm not sure if I should be worried if this is a thing that happens with people with
totally
IBS,
normal.
but sometimes the dizziness can get like in the way of activities or like when I'm trying to live my life. So, I don't know if I should be worried or not. Thanks. Keep it high and tight. Love you. Bye.
Do not worry. IBS is miserable, but your preoccupation with your poo-poo is a little bit much.
You think so?
And your bowel function.
But it's flaky.
It's mucus. People get mucus in the bowels. But it worries me. I mean, I feel like he should take up yoga or something, or some bodily-based something where he can kind of get more connected to his body. And it feels like it's all sort of like, over there, it freaks him out.
Oh, he's feeling like a phobia of shitting.
He's
or
just
like
a preoccupation with
much.
it rather than sort of an integrated part of himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not. That's not to diminish how miserable IBS can be. Take your bulk, get some psyllium husk, but it's his and then he gets short of breath and dizzy and he's all into it.
Sounds emotional. Should he go see a shrink? I mean, it could be. Is he trauma? Is he like reenacting?
Yeah, but
something?
I mean, it's more that I just feel like if he could get connected to his body a little more, like something like yoga or something, he'd feel a little better. I think.
Or fisting, or butt
fisting. Maybe that's where that comes from. I experienced this is TJ. I experienced a sex injury with my ex-girlfriend. She was riding. She was aggressive. She broke my penis.
I heard that a lot on Loveline as a kid growing up.
Came out, jammed on her pelvis. The experience was so traumatic. I don't remember if we finished or not.
Well, duh.
No, you don't finish typically because the blood runs out of the penis. It stops working. I do remember next time I went to pee afterwards, I passed nothing but blood. Oh, that's different. That's not a broken penis. That is a rip in the urethra. It looked like V8 juice. There was no pain associated with the blunt force trauma. Ever since this injury, I've experienced trouble with urinating. It means you didn't go see somebody probably. It's probably you have a urethral stricture now. You probably tore your urethra and now you have a stricture, a tightening in it. I would go to the bathroom, pull out my urine, give a few good shakes. Yeah, he has post-void, incontinence.
Get your dick looked at.
Yeah, go see a urologist. Go see a urologist. You probably need a cystoscopy. They probably have to dilate the urethra. Why you didn't? What you did? A broken penis is actually the whole penis goes purple. Your whole pelvis area goes purple, and all the blood sort of runs out of the penis, and it kind of becomes a little mushroomy thing because it's all the. Show me a penis.
Yeah. Let me see. Well, because there's cartilage in the penis. It's not a bone.
No,
right?
It's not a cartilage. It's there's a ligament that's suspensory down at the pubic bone, but there's two cavernous bodies. Let's look at them.
But it's not a bone in there.
No. I need a cross section of the penis. Cross section penis. Let's do that. No. Cross-section.
Cross-section penis.
Sorry to
Jesus Christ.
slow all the... there we go. Oh, there we go. Give me that one upper left there. Yeah, see how it's those are two blood-filled corpus elements there, right? So this is now a penis cut down the shaft.
Yeah.
And you see on either side there are these two balloons, essentially.
Yeah.
And then you see down at the base there's the urethra there. You see that? That thing looks like a smile. A little smiley.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yes, that's the urethra. He tore that. But what people tear is one or both of those cavernous bodies up above, and so all the blood just drains out.
Fuck, that sounds brutal, dude.
Yeah, and they can repair it. No big deal.
Oh.
Yep. But some people don't get the repair and things never work again. Guy fucks pile of dirt.
What a great segue. You're such a professional.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so the people at home will not be seeing this.
Why do you keep tantalizing them with the stuff that they can't watch?
Well,
we need to put a website together where you can put all the videos up that you can't see.
Is there a site we could...
Well, I mean, if you're a channel member, then you're able to see this stuff from the YMH episodes.
Okay.
So yeah, you could do that.
We should have a little library of just titles like "Guy Fucks Kill of Dirt." Okay, here we go.
Poutine. So yeah, Drew. I guess would you medically advise that this is safe?
What's he doing?
So there's a guy digging
a hole.
Digging a hole in a sand hill. It's like an angled hill. And now he's gonna.
Why are there people walking around?
Because he's like at a festival and they're watching him, or he's like at a public place, and now he's gonna pull down his pants.
This is some kind of weird sexual festival.
I don't think so. And now he's putting his penis in the hole of the sand.
Guys will do anything. They really will. They'll put their penis in anything. This will not hurt him. This is harmless. I promise you, this isn't the first time this has been done. This is what I know about men. And good for him. Although he's screaming.
I think he's coming.
Yeah, I know, but he's like doing it for all to see.
Yeah. So what's going on there? Is it drugs? Why does he have no self-awareness that he's in public?
I can't understand the environment in which this is happening. That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, right.
Because there are people watching. There seems like an art affair going on, art exhibit.
It's a Renaissance fair. You ever been to a Renaissance fair?
This is just another experience. These are people. Hey, man. There used to be a time when people had like shame.
I know.
When men would keep their bizarre stuff to themselves.
I know.
Is it better or worse that we're all out with it now?
I don't know, man. I like a little bit of shame in my culture, just a little. A little bit of conformism, just a little bit of shame keeps societal wheels going. You know, just a little, not a lot. Just so you don't fuck sand. Wait, so you mean to tell me a man can put his dick in sand?
I mean, it's not great for the urethra, but I'm sure he didn't set it up that way. He probably made it deep enough that his urethra never hit the bottom, right? And so he's just getting friction from sand around his penis.
Yeah. Duh, Christina.
But I mean,
what are you not getting here?
That was not the duh. That was like, this is how fucked up men are. They all put their penis in strange things.
Now, what would Tom and I had this debate. Should he have chosen a sandwich? Because I feel like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich would be a better lay than a pile of dirt. What do you think would be better for the penis?
Men like not to, hey man, no hands. See, a sandwich you'd have to hold around the penis.
Not if you put it in between two mattresses, because I had someone in college.
Then they would do that. They would
did that.
Someone who did that. That's a common male behavior.
Of course.
Yeah. But why do you know about it, though?
Stories, fun stories. I'm a connoisseur of the bizarre. You haven't picked that up by now?
You've been getting men to say uncomfortable things your entire life.
Yes, I love it. I live for the weird. You guys think that, again, it's not all Tom. It is me. I like weird fucking shit.
I get it.
I introduced him to GG Allin.
What do you like about it? Who's GG Allin?
GG Allin started the show, basically. There's a documentary called Hated, GG Allin and the Murder Junkies. It's Todd Phillips' first film. It's a documentary about a punk star named GG Allin, who was fucking... Google GG Allin! GG, 2 letters, Allin. GG Allin was a crazy guy. He would shove bananas up his ass on stage. There he is. Bloody, crazy punker. And there's a documentary.
It's a shame. It's pretty routine these days.
I know. I know. But he was a trailblazer, and I loved him.
He died?
He's crazy. Yeah. Dead in the 90s. Heroin.
Shocking.
But
I like the scumfuck tattoo.
Yeah. Die, you scumfuck. All that fun stuff. And that's what bonded Tom and I, is our love of this guy.
I think he brought... Norman into the world. Norman is an homage to GG Allin, isn't he? A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways,
what did GG Allin do to his head there? Oh, I see.
He's got severe... But I've always loved this. I think... You know what it is, Drew? I think because I grew up with such bizarro parents in the upside down that I want to understand all of human behavior. Because I had to learn how to be more of a human, because I didn't have a lot of modeling growing up. My mom was crazy and my dad was my dad and I was an only child. So I am learning.
The only child part was probably extra super
wackadoos.
Problematic.
So I like to learn about all of it, to make sense.
So it's a traumatic reenactment for you.
Yeah. Feels good. It doesn't feel... It doesn't feel right, but it feels good. Like, I really like it.
Traumatic reenactment.
Yeah, I'm
know why
fascinated.
people. Now think about that. Translate that to weird sexual fetishes, and you see why people do that stuff.
I know. I have sympathy.
Right?
I have sympathy.
Right.
They need help. People need treatments, don't they?
What are we saying about your preferences then?
I'm normal.
Okay.
I don't fuck sand piles.
No. I mean, in terms of you liking watching this bizarro shit.
Oh, I'm sure I'm cray cray. Yeah. I mean,
does it diminish with therapy or anything?
Diminish? This, my love of the bizarre,
right.
This is my whole life.
Okay, it does not diminish.
No, in fact, it only enhances it because now I use my therapy to really get inside of these.
Oh, because then you can start to understand it a little bit. So it's a deconstructing that you like.
Yes, I enjoy knowing why. Why is somebody fucking a pile of dirt? Why is somebody vaping?
You're trying to make. Well, this is at the core of your problem, honey.
Okay, go ahead.
Now I get to call you honey.
Yeah, you called me honey. I called you honey last time.
You're trying to use our rational revolution and rationality to deconstruct the irrational.
It's like talking to dogs.
They're separate. Now you can describe the irrational with rationality, but the irrational is built on sort of motivational states, which aren't cognitive states. They're just sort of I'm attracted to, I like this, right? Attractions and those sorts of things, desires, and those are built into our emotional systems, and they're related to trauma. They get distorted by trauma, and so a lot of this stuff we're seeing is people that have sort of either traumatic stuff, but some of the stuff we look at is getting towards thought disorders and manias and drug-induced stuff and that kind of thing. It's also irrational, right? Yeah. Also irrational, but the problem is it's never going to make sense. You're going to be able to describe the mechanism, so to speak,
right?
But the behavior is not going to make sense in some sort of narrative way, right? Our brain is a storytelling machine. We want to make sense of it, tell a story about it.
Right, but
the story he would tell about himself is
the sandfucker.
GG Allin.
Oh, GG, yeah.
The sandfucker would say, "I'm at a whatever they were at, a fair where we celebrate this thing, and I'm expressing my sexuality." Blah blah blah. GG Allin would say, "I'm antisocial and just fuck the man, all this stuff." No, he's just reenacting what somebody beat the shit out of when he was a kid,
stuff.
And now he's doing it to himself. So the motivation that you can turn it into expressions that have political, social sort of commentary attached to them. But let's not kid ourselves with what motivates it in the first place.
Trauma and horribleness. So it's essentially an animal thing, is what you're saying. It's like you're trying to understand and rationalize just a purely animal recreation, biological thing. Yeah.
I mean, why is the dog chewing on his paw?
I don't know. Dog wants you on the fucking paw.
Right. Exactly.
But I'm still fascinated. I agree. I'll never get a sense of completion from this stuff.
Yeah. So this will be eternally,
but fascinating and fun. Oh!
I just broke the table.
The table.
Wow, how about that? I'm so upset about today.
Fixed it. You're so fired up today.
I am fired up today.
Yeah.
I want to throw up today.
Yeah. What's going on?
What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Another voicemail, please.
I think you need to get with Susan. If you know what I mean. Has that happened in a few days or what?
It fixes everything.
Yeah. See? Ow, my butt hurts.
Here we go.
Hey, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
I was calling to see if there was a reproductive advantage in the female orgasm. Clearly, men need to bust nuts to get a woman pregnant.
Right.
But it seems like women wouldn't need to orgasm in order to get pregnant. So is there a reason for women orgasms, or is it just for fun?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your feminist perspective.
Yes.
The chicks need to come or not.
I mean, what's the point?
So people have struggled with that question so much that they're in the 70s, the wonderful decade of the 70s, when there was a feminist movement to insist. It was the precursor to all the bullshit we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
That women, when they had an orgasm, had an upward movement of the uterus.
And that the sperm, it brings the sperm in.
That is stuck. That's all bullshit.
I've heard that too. That's what I read.
That
it helps facilitate the getting pregnant.
That's all
oh,
bullshit.
wow.
There can be other things. Maybe the orgasm changes some of the viscosity of the secretions and stuff like that, or the lining of this. All kinds of things could be involved in it. But ultimately, women need to want to do that again too in order to have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I mean, there's got to be a motivational system attached to it for you guys too. It may not be directly related to the conception issue the way it is with men. It may not be it's a necessary. Well, let's say it's not a sufficient for conception.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right. Not necessary.
Yeah.
Right. But chicks could come and make them like it, and they come back for more. Hey, do you think that I was just trying to think in prehistoric times, if women often had orgasms? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
That probably just got invented like in the 60s.
And then how about during the hyper religious period too, where women's sexuality was all suppressed? I mean, they couldn't even. So.
That's crazy. Yeah. And how did women menstruate back in the prehistoric times?
How did they menstruate?
Meaning, like, there were no tampons, there were no maxi pads. Right. What the fuck did we do? Like, we didn't have underwear, I don't think.
Well, you had kind of loincloths probably, and then maybe that's why we did that to begin with, is to sort of absorb some of that stuff.
Goodness gracious.
And then once we put them on women, we looked at the guys going, you've got all that shit all over your ass. Cover that shit up. Cover that up.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I feel
this has
spent.
Been extraordinary. Yeah, I do feel spent too. This has been an emotional journey today.
Yeah. We covered it all.
I feel weirdly anxious.
Really?
Yeah, my anxiety disorder's up. That's probably why I pulled the table apart.
I wonder what triggered that.
Talking about Robin started it.
There you go.
Then talking about
disapproval of you.
Well, talking about our rational revolution makes me nervous because I don't want to be misunderstood in what our desires are. And then we got deep into all kinds of craziness about humans and their thinking and motivational systems, and I know how people get about that. They don't want to believe they have these biological motivational systems that are set by things other than their rational brain. Mm-hmm. And just think about how your brain is constructed. The cortex sits on top. The part down in the base, way in the middle, is the part that sets hunger and thirst and desire and motivation. And that color is the function of everything else. Imagine you haven't eaten for a week. You're going to want to sit down and solve math equations? Are you going to be thinking about social justice warring? Or are you going to be thinking about finding food? That's the motivational system. And they can get charged up through various means. And trauma is one of those ways, and childhood experiences, all this stuff. I think the breastfeeding thing made me anxious too. I don't know why that one bugged
some mommy
me.
Stuff. Is it your mom? Was your mom overbearing? And
yeah.
There you go.
But then I immediately go back to the fisting made me upset too. So maybe just
it was just an upsetting buffet.
It was buffet. Yes,
yeah,
it was too much.
Too much upsetting.
Don't do that to me.
Sorry. Next time I'll temper it. Well, I forget you're not, accustomed. Your mom's house is just a constant barrage.
I know.
Of this stuff.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, I'm thickening your lining. Your
skin. This is part of my training, I guess. You're right.
I'm making you into a warrior. You're going to really throwing you in there, man. You're in the trenches now.
All right. It's been a privilege to be spending time with you and to be joined by everybody. And you can send in those voicemails at 818-253-1693 and also the emails at drafterdark@gmail.com. And I'm interested in not just your crazy questions, but what you think about our rational
if you guys are on board. Are we out of line?
Are we out of line? Are we missing something? Give us some feedback.
Yeah, I'd like to know too. I think secretly people agree with us.
We're not going off the rail.
No, I think a lot of people feel it and no one's saying it.
All right.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Okay, bye.
All conversations and information exchanged during participation of the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.